and welcome. We are back again, and it is the final group game for India. India versus Canada. India has already made it to the Super 8 at the T20 World Cup. To talk about what's coming up tonight, we have with us senior sports journalist Gautam Bhattacharya and Indian cricket blogger Rishi Chabra. Let me go over to Gautam. Gautam, there's been a lot of talk about the importance of this match, the context of this game, India having reached the Super 8s. Why would anyone really watch this match? What is that hook for this match?
Well, firstly, we'll have to ensure that there is a match at Florida. I mean, given the kind of disturbing weather predictions that we're getting. And hook, I think there is only one hook, that is, are we getting Virat Kohli back among the runs? And also at the same time, if Kuldeep Yadav is getting some game time before he goes to the West Indies. That's what I feel.
But Rishi, in a tournament like this, when India is on a winning run, they look to have a settled unit. Is it worthy to even do experiments by making changes in the team just to give people some game time? Of course, Kuldeep Yadav, Sanju Samson, and the likes, they haven't got a look in. But is it really worth it?
I mean, Rika, Kuldeep, I would say yes, because the next leg of the tournament would be played in the West Indies, where the pitches are slow. And given the fact that Rohit Sharma said that we'll play 4 spinners, and the game against Canada is a perfect situation where we can, try and play with our bowling combination here and there. And like Sir said, Virat Kohli amongst runs going into the Super 8 would be very important for us. And from what I'm looking at, we'll be playing Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Australia. So this group actually looks like the group of death in Super 8. So very crucial for India to, tick mark all the boxes if we can get a game today. So hopefully, Kuldeep with the ball and Virat Kohli with the bat today would be important.
Interesting. Rishi mentioned this group that has India, Australia, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan as the group of death. Gautam, which is the team here you can see as a potential banana skin for India?
Well, this is the thing about this T20 World Cup. I mean, we have seen so many fancy teams, tripping in that Super 8 stage. I would reckon it's Afghanistan, certainly.
Okay, and not Bangladesh.
See, Bangladesh, okay. I mean, Bangladesh has still to formally get into that Super 8. The form hasn't been that reassuring. But Afghanistan, with their spinners, the quality of cricket they played, and they've come out of a very good, the 50 overs World Cup. They've got the confidence going. So I would reckon it's Afghanistan more than anybody else. Yeah.
Rishi, which is the team you think potentially could upset India, and India should really be wary of?
I mean, I'll agree as well, Afghanistan, because the kind of, game that they put up against New Zealand, not just their spinners, but their fast bowlers as well. I think it was brilliant, restricting New Zealand to under 100 runs, showed a lot of character. And, it actually shows that how far Afghanistan as a team has come. There was one point where they did not have any facilities, and now they are literally the second best Asian team that we have after India. So Afghanistan, one team, and the kind of, exposure that their players have, I feel they will trouble India somewhere here or there.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the venue of tonight's match, which is Lauderhill. And India, after West Indies, is the only team that has played so many matches at Lauderhill. But Gautam, does, in the context of the World Cup, did the ICC really need to schedule a match here? They have done the USA leg. They have tick marked what they had set out for, getting the tournament to newer territories. But Lauderhill as a venue, when so many other matches have got washed out at a time like this, do you think it was a little not wise, I would say, of ICC to have scheduled it at this point?
Yes, Rika, I would completely agree with you on that. I mean, even with New York, I have felt that it is still a kind of, US as a venue for something of the stature of a World Cup. It's still a kind of, work in progress. And yesterday, as we saw, the US Ireland game, I mean, so much hinged on that. I mean, Pakistan were keeping
Right.
an eye on that, and at any international venue, if you don't get about 4 hours of rain, you should be able to get the match going. You should either cover your outfield completely, which is done in so many venues. So yes, I mean, that's a huge question mark out there.
Rishi, would you say that ICC as an organization would be disappointed with themselves with Pakistan, one of the talking points of the tournament. In every tournament, they have generated so much news, so much eyeballs. They get out even before Super 8. So ICC have no one but themselves to blame, isn't it?
Kind of, not just raising eyeballs and news as well. They generate a lot of money for ICC as well. And Pakistan, exiting the World Cup in just the group stage means that okay, there's no more entertaining games in the Super 8 for them. And we've seen in the 2022 World Cup where they lost to not just India but Zimbabwe as well, and they went on to play the finals against England. So
Yeah.
they've always, been termed as a team that can always come back, and you can never count them out. So I thought, that ICC would have done better scheduling the Pakistan games here and there, and probably got some better result going their way.
Hmm. Now, for tonight's game, Gautam, let's talk a little bit about X factors of Team India. We don't know too much about the other team, though what we do know is that it is also a team packed with some players from Punjab. But talking about India, the X factors for tonight, let's get in from you first, Gautam.
Well, I'll again have to fall back on Rishabh Pant. I mean, I'm really impressed with the kind of responsibility that he has shown, being thrust on up the order, and talking about his keeping. I mean, which had been by and large flawless. And one of these games, he went on to win that in-house best fielders medal that they give, the fielding coach gives. So I would tell him, and the other person is definitely Hardik Pandya. I mean,
Hmm.
Hardik's the kind of it all depends on the kind of wicket that he had been getting, but consistently those back of a lung deliveries, the heart he put into those. I mean, that had resulted in that about 7 wickets from 3 games, and again
Right.
against a rookie side like Canada, he can really wreak havoc.
But Hardik is still to get some runs on the board. That is something he would be looking out for. Rishi, let me listen to the X factors from you.
Rishabh Pant has to be. I mean, the kind of performance that he's put up, coming from that life-threatening injury, he had a brilliant IPL. He's been fantastic behind the wicket. I mean, he's held on to those catches. He looks fit. He looks even more hungry to score runs, and he's more fearless. I think that accident has made him more fearless, where he can just play his kind of cricket that he wants. So I think him coming up the order also gives India the advantage where the players can keep on with the intent, and you score runs very freely. And then I mean, has to be Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, Jasprit Bumrah, the kind of performance that he's put up against Pakistan and other teams, I think if he can keep going on like this in the remaining of the World Cup, I think India can definitely go a step further this time.
Yes, that probably that's what we are looking at, not just reaching the final but winning the final. Right now it's a long way off, 2 more weeks to go. Gautam, India is potentially going to clash, not potentially, but they are going to clash against Australia on the 24th of the month. That is going to be one of the big games in the tournament, though it's a little too early to speak about that clash. But really tell us, what is it that India should now be looking forward to while playing against Australia? It seems time and again that's one team that is delivering the choke on India.
Yes, I mean, see, from what I saw of Australia in this tournament, they are continuing to play the kind of cricket that they enjoy doing. But whether the conditions in West Indies are going to allow them that, so India will have to kind of beat them by playing to their strengths. I mean, doing something out of the box. I mean, if you want to beef up your spin attack, by just bringing in more variety than Akshar and Ravindra Jadeja. I mean, Jadeja hasn't had a great tournament so far, but
Right.
any day with his, by keeping stuff slower, he can pose
Mhm.
those questions. And there is definitely room for a wrist spinner, whoever comes in, to put the choke, to cause some early damage onto that Australian lineup, and then try to take the battle on from there.
Rishi, what would you say would be the way for India to battle, to combat Australia and the choke that they have been putting on us time and again?
Get Yashasvi Jaiswal to open with Rohit Sharma. And we need the kind of intent that Australian openers have showed. David Warner, he's been brilliant this T20 World Cup. So we need Jaiswal up the order, Kohli coming one down, and probably then the spinners coming in, and if they can get us a breakthrough in the first 6 overs, wicket or 2 wickets, that would do the kind of damage that we've been wanting. And yes, we have lost the WTC final against Australia, the 23 50 over final against Australia. But let's not forget we have a good record against them in T20 cricket. And if we just tick off all the boxes, we'll probably be able to see them off in the Super 8 game.
Okay, now that was about the big teams in the tournament. Talking about the smaller teams, the minnows, who USA, of course, have shown that they have come up the ranks. Any other team, Gotham, that has really impressed you in this tournament so far?
Yes, I mean a lot of our attention was riveted to the US, but there are a couple of other teams who can play some disciplined cricket. I mean I would say Canada, they have won a game. Nepal, they lost to South Africa by 1 run overnight. I haven't had a chance to follow that game over much, but this is the beauty of this, the T20 World Cup. This is the right format for them to excel. Whether 20 teams is one team too many, this is not the forum for discussion. But yes, I mean surprises have been there.
Rishi, the favorites of yours in this World Cup among the minnows.
I mean, it has to be USA because they've been playing brilliant cricket. We saw, just before the World Cup, also they had a few series and the kind of performance that they put up against Bangladesh as well. But like Sir said, Nepal, I think Nepal was so close yet so far. Like last night, they lost by a run, but the more cricket that they play, the more opportunities that they'll get. They'll probably get those match awareness that is needed, and they can go a step further in games like these. But again, USA has been the pick of the teams, and let's not forget they've also qualified for the 2026 World Cup. So, which means that they'll try and uh, work more hard, and they'll probably have something to look forward to in the future as well. That okay, we have another T20 World Cup coming up. They can plan, they can strategize their uh, tournaments as well. So USA, I think they've been brilliant this tournament.
And I think the beauty of these teams is that there are so many expats. Nepal has so many expats, and all of these countries have so many expats. They have had people rallying around them, filling up the stadiums wherever they have been. Now, talking a little bit about Canada, the opponents of India in this match. Once again, like the last time when we were talking about many Indian players in the ranks. Here also, you have many Punjabi boys, Sikh boys, particularly in this rank. In Canada's rank, Gautam, do you think that the kind of cricket, the kind of flavor they lend to the Canada team is exceptional, and it's their performance that has seen them rise in the ranks?
Yes, I mean Canada had we didn't know much about Canada. I mean when we talk about associate countries, we don't talk about Canada in the same breath as, I mean, so for example, like the way Ireland and Afghanistan bloomed when they were till they became the member nations. So Canada was nowhere. But yes, it's a right combination. You've got this guy Aaron Johnson, who had been a leading scorer for them. But then again, the Pargat Singhs and all. I mean, it's a really dream come true situation for them to be able to take on guys whom they possibly idolize. And the more cricket they play, the qualifiers, the continental qualifiers they have had to come through. It was not a shortcut this time. That's how these 20 teams have been assembled. I mean, that's why we see a somebody like African sides, there. So definitely something to look forward. This is the direction cricket also needs to take. I mean, new direction, new territories, new teams, and albeit with this format.
Rishi, finally, for our viewers who will be hoping that there is a match tonight, India has already ticked all the boxes. They have gotten through to the Super Eights. But if there's one thing or a couple of things now that Captain Rohit Sharma will still talk to his team about, what would they be?
I mean, again, Virat Kohli, opening, I feel it's too risky because you have both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, your best openers, best players, open for India. Imagine if there are 2 wickets down in the first few overs, we are in a fix, and then that brings on additional pressure on the middle order as well. So having Jaiswal open, and then probably Shivam Dube uh, Kuldeep Yadav can come in place of Shivam Dube, and then Virat Kohli dropping down. Probably that team combination looks brilliant. But then overall, I think I've been very happy with the kind of cricket that we played. Bowlers have been brilliant. We've been taking all the catches and we've been brilliant in the field. So it's just the opening slot that is a bit risky over here.
But Gautam, would you say batting overall has been satisfactory according to you?
No, not really, but I'll have to say that the character that they showed and the difficult conditions at Nassau County, I mean, you'll have to give them the marks for that. I mean, when the going gets tough, I mean, to win ugly in those matches, like what happened against Pakistan through their by defending that much of a total. Then again, what happened against US? Yeah, so that will kind of give them a lot of confidence. I had not been a big fan of thrusting Virat up the order with Rohit. I mean, I felt that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this obsession with the strike rate, you need an anchor person like Virat, possibly at number 2, number 3. I mean, that's the place that you had been batting on the West Indian wickets. Now there is possibly no point in changing and hoping that because it will bring on a lot of pressure to Jaiswal. I mean, you put him on straight in a Super 8 game. I mean, either he will be in a rush to get going in the power play to show that he's trying to prove himself. He's young. Maybe we stick to what we are doing, but then again, as he said, that get Kuldeep in place of Shivam Dube and move
Right.
on with the camp.
Well, interesting suggestions there. Let's see what Team India does, and if at all the match happens tonight. If not, then India will play their next fixture on the 20th of June. Thank you very much, Rishi and Gautam, for joining me on the podcast.